The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Careers with Sara on Armed Radio Global. Every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm here to talk about careers, career advancement, and if you have any questions or topics that you would like me to discuss about, you just go to Facebook, Let's Talk Careers with Sara, and message me there. And you can join my group, Let's Talk Careers Inner Circle, on Facebook, and you can see what other members are posting and what struggles you have, and so the other members can also respond to you, as well as myself. And also, if you don't have Facebook, then you can reach me in my email, Let's Talk Careers with Sara@gmail.com. And email me whatever questions you have, whatever problems that you feel at work that you can't solve. You can reach out to me and I'll help you with that. Today's topic is going to be about closing the sale. It is more for salespeople. I see that lots of candidates are struggling with sales, and majority of the candidates are not looking forward to work as a sales because they have lots of objections to face, and I feel because they don't have enough tools necessary for them to succeed. But if you are going as a salesperson, you don't need any degree, you don't need any education, formal education, you don't need basically anything. Any entry level you have, you will get in. You will get the job. However, if you stay longer in the position, there is room for growth just about in any company that you go. Companies about everywhere need salespeople. They need salespeople to sell their products, to sell their services. So today I'm going to discuss about how to close a sale so you can be really so you can be very successful. So there are some techniques and tips to help salespeople to seal the deal. So for today, I'm going to talk about so many things. Some just in a briefly summary, I'm going to discuss about what the top sellers do right, what are the habits of top closers, the rules of closing, exercises and strategies to get more closes. And I'm going to talk about connecting to close, getting at the financials, testing a trial closing, signs your prospects are ready to close and how to react, and signs your prospects are bulking and how to react, getting a commitment, closing the sale, and analyze the close or the fail, and the 8 universal truth to closing. The goal of every sales effort is to close. Salespeople don't just prospect, cold call, research, serve, negotiate, or present. Those are just steps toward the one outcome they want, which is a closing. The best salespeople put customers' needs at the heart of their efforts throughout the sales cycle. Then the close, that final step in the sales process where the prospect agrees to complete the deal, is the payoff for all the time and effort. So for those who don't understand what a close means, it's just getting the deal. Okay, getting the deal, getting the prospect to buy from you. So while sales close rates vary from industry to industry and company to company, the sales professional can agree that they would all like to close more deals and more often. More than 70% of salespeople say closing more deals is their top priority. So if you close more deals, you can advance your career and you can be a sales manager, you can be a sales director. In sales and especially in closing, knowledge is power. So here is your Bible for closing the sale. That means in my show. So I'm very glad. If you have any questions, you can message me on Facebook. My Facebook is open. Message me any sales questions you have. If you are struggling currently in closing sales, let me know what are your struggles, because if you don't tell me, I would never know. And I'm live here. So if you have a question, you can call me just right now. 1-800-508-5431, 1-800-508-5431, and you can ask me the question that you have about your sales. Now, what the top sellers do right? The salespeople who close more deals than their average colleagues might work a little harder or smarter, but what often casts them apart are unique approaches to attitude, confidence, and enthusiasm. So here's what's at the core top of closers. They believe in what they sell. They start every presentation assuming prospects will buy from them because they truly have the best possible solution. Passions for their products and or services is their most effective closing tool. The salespeople accentuate positive and eliminate the negative when they're closing. Prospects respond far better to positive messages than negative messages. Top closers work hard to keep out negative influences by remaining upbeat even when dealing with pessimistic prospects. So to be a salesperson really takes a lot of skills, but they are really teachable. They're really learnable. So the best salespeople don't feel bad for themselves, even when the sale fails to close. They maintain enthusiasm by repeating positive affirmations to themselves, such as, I will close the sale because I have the best product, because I'm good at it. I'm the best salesperson in the company. And they also constantly focus on the prospect's needs. They know what the difference between convincing prospects to buy and convincing them to buy now. So it's going to come down to a strong understanding of the buyer's needs. They use benefit statements to create belief in their products or services. It seems perhaps a little bit challenging, but to be a salesperson, it really takes a lot of skills to learn, and it's basically anybody can do it. It doesn't matter what age you are, what ethnicity you are, what language you speak. It really doesn't matter in what even country you live in. Seriously, the best salespeople, they speak in terms of value for the prospect. Top closers help prospects see not only the ROI they are likely to receive, but how much the absence of their product or service is closing each day. And they listen first and sell second. Instead of making assumptions, top closers ask questions to uncover why prospects buy and how their buying process works. And the most of all, they are patient. Top closers consider the longer buying cycle an opportunity to educate prospects. They recognize what prospects who turn into the best customers may be under cultivation for 2 or 3 years. Salespeople today are the differentiator, says Jill Conrath. She is the author of Snap Selling and Selling to Big Companies. That's why it's so critical for you to focus on becoming a valuable business asset to your customers and to your employers. Let's go over on habits of top closers. While attitude is important, so is action. Top closers have some common habits that you can pick up too. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. says business expert and entrepreneur Jim Rohn. The most common habits are for a salesperson's in general, they act the difference. The salesperson is the embodiment of their product or service. Top salespeople set themselves apart from the competition by building trust, urgency, dependability, and credibility. They make a solid first impression by delivering on everything they promised when prospecting. Also, they sell benefits, as I said before. Top closers present only the things that are most important in each specific selling situations. There are no cookie-cutter presentations. They break each selling point into either feature or a benefit that works for their particular prospect. Then they toss the features out the window and only focus on what matters to prospects, the benefits. To do that, many top closers ask their most loyal customers why they continue to do business with them and use those points for their future closing conversations. They sell relationships, the salespeople. They approach selling like this. If the competitor put a modest offer on the table, would doing business with me be a good enough reason to keep the customer from leaving? So they send cards, stay in touch through email and social media, offer industry and product insight solutions that customers may not even ask for. Then they mostly listen. Great closers ask questions first to uncover prospects' pain points, needs, wishes, and how their buying process works. They take notes during the opening stages to ensure nothing is miscommunicated. Also, they are thirst for industry knowledge. Top closers believe in always be closing and always be learning. They know industry hot buttons are constantly changing, and prospects need salespeople who keep up with trends. Strong closers stay ahead by reading blogs, news feeds, social media, books, and publications related to their industry and their customers' industries. They listen to relevant podcasts. They attend conferences and seminars, not just to network, but to learn. The fact that you as a listener right now listening to my show, you are learning each week, every Wednesday, 10 p.m., you are learning how to advance yourself in the career, how to be the top ladder, how to get there. This is kind of homework, as I call it. This is just going to benefit you. You're going to be the best out there, better than your colleagues, better than anybody else in the company, because you're investing in it. You're investing yourself and trying to accomplish things that you see that others getting hard with. But they don't do their homework. You're doing it. Now you're listening and trying to become the best salesperson in your company. This is the way to go. This is how you can advance yourself in the career. At the end, you get the raise, not your peers. You understand? This is just the way everybody should do. Okay, next. The salespeople research relentlessly. Their presentations are on the mark and their closing rates are above average because they do more research than their colleagues before any. They don't talk to who they can. They figure out who they need to talk to and don't stop until they get to him or her. They religiously manage their time. Top closers spend approximately 50% of their time building relationships. They budget time toward high-priority activities. They weigh their options in terms of which prospects provides the most promise to close and then move forward accordingly. Most actions and all presentations are done with thought and preparation. Their reward for meticulous time management. They close deals and hit quota nearly 20% more than other salespeople, according to CSO Insights, the research division of Miller Heyman Group. So you want to at least close 20%. So if you're calling 100 people, you're reaching out to 100 prospects or 100 customers, right? Whether cold calling or emailing, you want at least 20% close with you, 20% sign up with you, 20% believe in you and buy from you. Not 100%, but 20%. The best salespeople manage expectations before, during, and after closing. Great salespeople carefully go over exactly what the customer gets. They confirm everything with the buyer to ensure expectations meet reality. This also helps to continue establishing trust. They create a closing process. Top closers know that anything can change quickly when they are trying to close a sale. Objections, last-minute changes, and competitive bids, just to name a few. Top closers are seldom caught by surprise because they create and maintain a process for closing. They know exactly how to react when the prospect calls an audible. Their quick reactions often save the sale that might have slipped through their fingers. The next thing is they maintain an organizational process. New sales are important, but loyal customers are like money in the bank. That's why top closers have highly organized sales cycles. They find time every month to stay in contact with existing customers via email, social media, visits, or calls. They might include industry-specific information or just ensure customers are satisfied with their service. The bottom line is top closers regularly find ways to stay on buyers' radar so the next closing is even more fluid. I want to tell you a personal experience about how I felt the salesperson. She did not have the title as a salesperson. She was a phone receptionist. How can I explain it? I went online to print a menu, and based on the menu, I had budgeted how much money I want to spend. I wanted to buy lunch for a holiday for my staff. So I went online, I calculated everything, everybody ordered what they wanted, and I called the restaurant. I called the restaurant, and the receptionist, whoever picked up the phone, told me that the items that are on the website are not updated and the prices are up. So I was kind of disappointed, but then I said, okay, you know what, let's start with one item at a time, and you tell me if it's still available, if not, and what the prices are. So we went over the items, and she told me this item is discontinued, that item is discontinued, and the product that I wanted was a little bit much higher than what was on the website. So I was getting frustrated, and she felt it. She sensed that I was frustrated with that I cannot order from her, and I cannot order the items, and my plans are not going according, and the budget is not, going to cover it. So she told me like in a pleasant manner, and she explained to me, you know what, we have specials. I said, your specials are not on the website. She said, we have specials. They are like $13 each special. If I want to order, the budget for me was $150. So she explained to me, if you want, this is what's included in the special, and that saved my day. I really felt happy because this is actually what the staff wanted, specials, and they didn't have specials on the menu. So when she said they have specials, I was so happy. So I made an order from her. I could have just said, you know what, forget it, I'm going to call a different restaurant. But no, she politely explained to me what's included in the order. She understood I was frustrating. She made me feel better. She had a process, and she was helping me with the order. She said, you might want to order this, you might want to order that. And I said, you know what, it sounds very good. Thank you for your help, and I'm very happy with it. Now, on that day, it was raining, and I hate rain, but what can I do? It's a natural thing that happens. But it was raining, and she told me there is no delivery available. There is no delivery available. She explained to me that the delivery guy is just in Brooklyn, I'm in Queens, and he's not going to make it on time in half hour. So I said, doesn't matter, I'll come and pick it up. Because for me, the service was good. I felt good that she made me feel great because she did not get upset at me when I was upset. She was actually doing her job, not as a salesperson, like her job is just take orders, but she was kind of helping find a solution to my problem. And because of that, I said, whatever, I'll buy from you. I will come and pick it up. I'll have a staff member help me. And we did it. And she wasn't in a rush to get even my order. She said, are you sure? Maybe you want to wait. Maybe I could make some phone calls and find out if there is somebody can deliver. I said, doesn't matter. I'll come and get it. Don't really take time out of it. And that's it. We made a sale. And the service was really on top of the line. She was really doing a job above and beyond, even though her title is not sales. So my point is, everybody should be having a great customer service and trying to sell an item, a product, or a service without getting frustrated at the frustrated customer. And this is something that everybody takes time to learn. And it can happen only if you want to. Okay, next. The great salespeople proactively survey. Even if their companies survey customers, top closers take the initiative to do it themselves. They call, email, or create an online opt-in survey that's unique to them and their approach. It also lets customers know that their opinion shapes the selling process. So I'm going to take a break right now. I'm going to be right back in a minute. All right, we're back. So let's go over the rules of closing. That's my favorite part. The importance of closing remains the same in every economy. While the circumstances change, the rules, the pillars that build solid relationships and close sales remain relatively the same. Trust is the most essential ingredient to closing the sale. Honestly, would you trust a company that you know that has 5 ratings? 5-star ratings, that has all kind of people saying good things about it. Like Macy's, for example, like Apple, like Amazon. You trust the company. You trust, and you're going to buy it from them. While you go to a different company that you never heard of, that has no reviews, or how are you going to trust them? You don't know. So the first thing is to build trust so people can say good things about you, good things about your product, about your company. The next thing, the marketplace will only become more crowded, mature, and competitive. And buyers increasingly buy on value rather than price alone. And buyers look for advisors and business experts who deliver results that exceed basic expectations. And buying decisions are made at higher level due to the strategic importance of purchases. And salespeople must customize their approaches. Thus, salespeople who develop strong relationships with prospects who want relationships, deliver effective solutions to prospects who need solutions, deliver greater value to those prospects who seek value, and offer a speedy transaction to those who seek a quick solution, will close more. So let's go over the 6 fundamentals for closing every sale. It doesn't matter what item you're selling. It can be computers, electronics, it can be food items, it can be cleaning items, it can be even services, it doesn't matter. So let's go over the fundamentals for closing every sale. So salespeople don't want to walk away from any sales calls without establishing the answers to the following questions. Now, there are fundamentals to become a master closer. So here's the questions. Ask yourself, did I clearly describe all the benefits of my products or services and what they will do for the clients? Did I discover the key issue involved in the client's buying decisions, such as I am too new, too much like XYZ, or lack name recognition? Did I uncover the key benefits, either perceived or real, that the client wants from my products or services? Did I make lots of little closes, agreements along the way, so that the client had an opportunity to make small decisions rather than one big threatening one? Did I ask the clients to buy, come right out and ask for the order? Did I try one more time when I thought the sale was lost? If you answer no to any, you can clearly see where your closing techniques need to be spiffed up. I'm going to give you another case study that I have experienced with CVS Pharmacy. CVS Pharmacy is a chain pharmaceutical company, and they have basically all types of products. They have food, they have cleaning, they have beauty supplies, they have medicines. So I was looking for a product, nail stickers, and I usually would buy it from CVS, and all of a sudden I don't see it. I really was hoping to buy a product that I really love, but it's not there. It's either obsolete, discontinued, so somehow whatever I buy, it becomes obsolete. So all of a sudden, a CVS staff member approaches to me and asks, hi, can I help you? They never did that before, but at that moment, when I was getting frustrated, I said, yeah, I need help. And she was listening to what I was looking for, and she was trying to find a product that was replaced to the same product, but it's different company and it looks a little bit different. So she explained to me, if that's what I want, this is what they have. But she was there helping me, trying to understand what I'm looking for, she wasn't a salesperson, she was a customer service. However, she helped me buy a product that I never thought I am going to buy. And I did, I bought the product. And I was really happy with the product. And of course, I'm going to go back and buy even more. So being able to listen and to find a solution to the customer's needs and problems, you could have just said, oh, well, this is obsolete, we don't have it anymore. You can go to a different store and look over there, but this is what we have. Happens to me that when I walk in the store, and for shoes, for example, when I go to the store and I ask, do you have my size? And their response, not even bothering helping, their response is, whatever you say, that's what we have. That kind of response is just like, I need to buy shoes and you don't have my size. At least go to the back and find, maybe you will find a size. At least by going back and trying to help me, it relieves my frustration. It's like you are going to at least try to help me. You try to go, and besides just stop what you're doing, and you went and did whatever I asked you to do. This customer service really was not over the line, and I know every time that I go there, they tell me the same thing. Whatever you see, that's what we have. So I stopped going there. I stopped shopping in that store, and I went to DSW. And DSW, they are really helpful. So when I went there to buy shoes from DSW, they had my size, and I had a coupon. And basically, I would just stand on the line. Like always, it's always a big line because they have great customer service and they're really great people there. and they call each and every one shoe lover, and they will say, may I help the next shoe lover? So that was impressive. That was great. I was handing my coupon, and they told me that the coupon has expired yesterday. I was saying, okay, I didn't know it was expiring yesterday. I didn't know because everything is written in small and I don't see the date. So I asked if it can be honored. She said, yeah, sure. She called her manager. The manager said, yeah, sure, absolutely. And he, like the way she was saying, I have a shoe lover in front of me that has a coupon that is expired yesterday. Can we still honor it? And he said, yes. So the fact that she addressed me as a shoe lover and the fact that they honored my coupon, who cares? It was $5 off. And she honored it. And that's why they have so many clients, so many customers, because of their great customer service. And sometimes when there is a long line, that's what frustrates the customers. They say, I'll just order online from DSW. They have great prices. They have great service. This is what people want. And other stores don't realize that. So doesn't matter what position you're holding in your company, you are still somehow disguised as a salesperson. So let's go over some exercises and strategies to get more closes. Okay? So closing isn't just a physical paper Latin, handshaking game. It's a mental game too. And just like in any professional or amateur sport, salespeople can up their closing game by training and exercising. These exercises and strategies will help with the mental exercises. So tab closers are confident, but confidence doesn't always come easy. Even the most successful salespeople need to take steps to hone their confidence or exercise their way out of slump. And the mental exercises help with, start with the right kind of self-talk. What do you think has a major impact on your confidence and ability to close? It starts with your first thoughts of the day. When you wake, remind yourself of success or positive impact you expect to have that day. When the day includes a challenge, review what's gone right and remind yourself to stay tenacious. Then run mental replays. When confidence slips or you need a confidence kick before a selling event, mentally review a previous successful sale. Analyze and reinforce the things that you did right. Relieve the success. Then you have emotional exercises. Successful salespeople tap the power of their emotions to help close sales. Making emotional connections can impact confidence and take optimism to a deeper level. One way is even tab closers feel some discomfort going into presentations or closings. Prospects can read that insecurity. That's when it's important to rewrite the story, break down past uncomfortable situations or the one you perceive you'll be in into smaller fragments. Determine the moments or hurdles you fear. Mentally rewrite how you will handle them so the story becomes a reality. The best salespeople know what their expertise can become their enemy in selling, says Mike Bosworth. He is the author of Solution Selling. At the moment they are tempted to sell the buyer that he needs to do, they instead offer a story about a peer of the buyer. And it always works when you have a story. When you tell a story about their competition, about their competitors, how it worked for them. So we went over so far with mental exercise, and then we went over emotional exercise, and now there is a physical exercise. So sometimes it takes actual action to regain or build confidence or overcome a fear. Then closing becomes even smoother. And one way to look at it is find your alternative. Pick a behavior, action, or situation you might avoid that's directly related to closing. Come up with a tool or approach to work around it. For instance, if you dislike the paperwork that's involved in closing and then put it off and thus delay the closing, set aside time to do that work in bulk once a month. Reward yourself with an early start to a weekend. All right, so let's find connecting to close. That's making connections, networking. Most tab closers know more about connecting with people than online matchmakers do. They take strides to connect at a granular level, finding what's unique about each person and his or her needs. At the same time, they share enough about themselves to make prospects so comfortable they open up and share stories, struggles, and needs. When making connections, forget the facts and focus on the connections. Okay? Be a valued consultant and focus on problems, not products. When making connections, this is just the keys to making connections and building relationships to lead to closing. So when I say forget the facts and focus on the connections, I mean that it's easy for prospects to do their own fact-checking and research online before they ever connect with salespeople. They know several companies are offering the same deal. That's why the best closers don't inundate customers with information upfront. Instead, they talk about what people want to talk about themselves. Right? They want to talk about themselves. They ask questions about their work and struggles and triumphs. And when you are connecting with someone and you show that you care about them, right? You want to know how they are, what they are doing, what challenges they are facing, what they think would be the solution, what they think would be better, how can they voice out their concerns. Then you are becoming as a valued consultant. Salespeople are often in the roles of business consultant and partner in the prospect's success. And to do that, salespeople want to create question-led presentations so they learn where prospects need help. Then they can demonstrate a clear understanding of the problems and the ideal solution to help resolve each one. When you focus on problems and not on products, people really want to talk to you. True connections are built around a common understanding of and concern for the issues prospects face, and not so much around a product, solution, or sale. Offer advice and invite prospects to call, to ask for more about something that has nothing to do with a sale. Then, to maintain a connection, you need to be tap into social media networking, be relevant and likable. The road to closing can be long, and even if it's short, it's important to stay connected with prospects so when the closing situation is as amicable as friends enjoying beers and professional as the business people meeting. I want to emphasize that when you are talking to someone, you're making connections, and you are clear about who you are, what you offer, and how your company, delivers those promises. And the prospect still says to you, okay, not now. I'm not ready to make a decision now. And the way I'm just making it simple, but the way they say it, I have to talk to my wife, I'm going on vacation, I have a holiday break, I'll come back to me in 2 weeks. Always follow up. Follow up. And when you follow up, you're actually reminding them that you are thinking about them. So the follow-up is really great. So you need to stay connected. Tap into social media networking. More than 70% of salespeople who use social media networking in their sales process close their peers who don't. Okay, that's when you are on social media, you are networking with your prospects. And that's you really 70%. people who close. So that's according to a survey by Social Centered Selling and a Sales By. Follow prospects on their business and professional social media pages. Like and comment on what they do. Contribute to their feeds by sharing relevant, helpful information, not pitches. Be relevant. Know a cool survey, interesting article, thought-provoking ebook. Email a link and let prospects know you're thinking of them and how that information can help them. More than 90% of customers said they choose a product or service because the company or salesperson provided relevant content throughout the sales journey. Okay, that's according to Demand Gen survey. Then you need to be present. When the time comes, prospects may suggest that you just send the proposal or agreement. Don't stay connected to finish the sale. Maintain personal contact. Visit, call, Skype. It is not your customer's job to remember you. It's your obligation and responsibility to make sure they don't have the chance to forget you. That's what Patricia Fripp says. Okay? She is a sales expert, a coach, and an author. Then, we stay connected. Salespeople need to stay connected by servicing the customers, referring them, keep your request for feedback simple, and schedule it. Closing the sale is just the first step in closing their next sale. It's important for salespeople to stay connected after the sale as well. A few ways to do that is service customers. Whether customers need installation, technical, or emotional support, giving some sort of customer service will create that first post-sale connection. Either give it directly or hand them off to the pros who can better help. Refer them as new customers if you can recommend them to other businesses or individuals who might need their services if the need arises. Then make a point actually to do it. Keep your request for feedback simple. No more than 5 questions in an easy format. When they respond, let them know how you will use the feedback. Schedule it. When you close, create calendar reminders to send emails, calls, visit, or do some social media networking at regular intervals. The modern sales professional doubles as an information concierge, providing the right information to the right person at the right time in the right channel. That's what Jill Rowley says. He is a Chief Growth Officer at Sales for Life. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Now, here is my favorite part, getting at the financials. One of the most difficult conversations to have during the sales process is the financial one. It can stop or delay a closing or create a contentious one. Talking money will almost never make a closing easier. Fortunately, there are some tactics the best closers use to handle the financials. So let's go over the 3 principles behind talking money. The cost of the problem. If you can't establish the cost of a problem, you don't have a problem, and customers won't close to a non-problem. So the most important financial conversation salespeople must have is connecting the agreed upon problem to the fact that it's costing them a lot of money. You may run into some reluctance from prospects to share financial data. In those cases, use as much benchmark data as possible to show the numbers. The second principle is the numbers you establish with your customers don't have to be exact, but they do have to be credible. Costs and returns on investments have many variables and make it difficult for a salesperson to put an exact number on financial costs. Customers will usually accept estimates, but if you hand them anything that's too good to be true, you will lose credibility. You need to close the sale. The third principle is customers need to understand and have confidence in the method salespeople use. To get to any numbers they use, take the time to explain the basis of your numbers and regularly ask them for feedback. For me as a salesperson, for my coaching services, I always state the benefits. First, I hear the problems that a candidate has. First, I try to find out what are your goals, what are the obstacles you're facing currently, and then I state the benefits. And when I state the benefits, I state the price. And when I state the price, I say, are you comfortable with the number? What is your feeling currently when I tell you the number, when I tell you the dollar sign? How do you feel about it? Some say it's reasonable, some say, okay, let's do it, and some say, no, it's expensive. It all depends. And then I go over and explain. If you stop from getting the solution, do you want to stay where you are because it's expensive? Do you want to stay stuck? Do you want to continue having the problem with you, to carry it on with you because it's expensive? So that way, finding a solution, those type of customers usually get back to me in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months, in 6 months, they get back to me. So there is still a closing done. Not in the right way, not in the right away, but it's done. So same thing with you. Make the numbers palatable. Talking money is often the most awkward part of getting to a closing. Many people are as uncomfortable with talking about money as they are about discussing sex, politics, and religion, the conversations we are told to politely avoid early in our careers. But to close a sale, money is a necessary conversation. So listen to these tips on how to make it comfortable and concise. Set the tone. Don't avoid to try to hide pricing from customers. I know some people run around the bushes and they are afraid to say the number because they think it's going to sound expensive and the customer will say it's too expensive, it's too pricey. Pricing is something prospective customers need to know to make decisions that are best for them. Explain your pricing and value early so there are no surprises at closing. No point of having a conversation if you don't tell them your prices. Set the time. Pricing is an important topic at two specific times in the sales process. The beginning, when prospects need to figure out if you are in their ballpark, and near the end, when they need to weigh the cost and benefits of closing the sale. So salespeople want to have the financial information ready early and adjust, if necessary, toward the end. Keep it simple. You don't want to overwhelm prospects with too much on pricing. Keep pricing pages online, in email, or on paper uncluttered. Even if your pricing is complex, use a bulleted tip sheet as starting point. Connect the dots. Pricing can't be just about money. Salespeople will close more often when they connect dollars to value. When you are value-added selling, align numbers with the value of the product or service they will get. Get the numbers you need to close. Customers won't tell you how much they want to spend, especially if you ask them questions solely aimed to uncovering that amount. To move forward closing, salespeople want to help prospects determine the amount it would take to eliminate a problem or gain an opportunity. You need to avoid questions like this. How big is your budget? How would it be worth to solve this? What would it be worth to solve this? How much is this costing you? Instead, figure out the answers to these questions to get you the financial information you need without putting customers on the spot. Questions like, what is the absence of your product or service costing the customer? What return, net financial impact, can the customer reasonably expect from the solution? How much should the customer invest to achieve the desired results? When you know the answers and then help customers realize them too, the price of your offering becomes a simple fact that can easily be evaluated. Now, let's go over testing a trial closing. A trial close is a test to see how near the prospect is to buying. You can try it anytime prior to the close and might get you to an actual closing sooner, or recognize that a sale isn't worth pursuing further. In a trial closing, salespeople can find out what prospects think and feel and how to adjust your presentation accordingly. Uncover objections early. Trial closes often work because salespeople can uncover objections that prospects might not bring up during a presentation, but would just before a closing. You can get at them with questions that probe prospect's opinion. Try asking these questions. What is most important to you about our product? When would our service be of greatest use to you? What do you think of that? How would this affect your blank, decision or your problem, your solution? And do you think that would give you the blank, the solution or the need or the wants? These questions tend to flesh out prospects' thoughts and feelings and give salespeople a read on how much they want or need the product or service. I had a client, a candidate. She came to me through a friend on Facebook who reached out to me. She said, I have a problem. I'm working in a job that I hate. I hate where I work. I don't get paid enough. I'm a shareholder, but I'm not getting any financial satisfaction from it. I need a resume. I need a job. A lot of startup companies opening up in New York. I need a resume, and I need to get the job before January 1st, before the new year. So we went over her positions, what she was doing before, what she's doing now. I was interviewing her. We were sitting down, and I was explaining to her what exactly she needs to bring to me, what type of information I'm looking for. She gave me a website to those companies, and then to get a feeling of what the companies are about, so I can have more or less to write something on the resume. Then we went over a pricing. And when I told her the price, she wasn't skeptic. She just told me if I could lower it, and I did. And from then on, she continued with my service. So by the time we went back and forth, drafting the resume, writing the resume, the point is the price in itself is not, how can I say it? The way you're thinking about price is not how the customer is thinking about price. The customer needs a solution. That's how you're supposed to look at it. When you are selling something and you heard first their problems, what they are looking for, why they need the product, what's their satisfaction going to be, what's their outcome is going to be, then based on that, you're building your sales and you're trying to benefit them. And it works. It really works. So here's what you need to ask the trial questions, okay? So when there is a positive reaction to the trial questions, salespeople want to follow up with the trial closing questions, such as, would you prefer the A product or the B product? What's the better day for delivery, Monday or Thursday? What terms interest you the most? So these kind of questions will help you also identify any tweaks that you need to do. Next is signs your prospects are ready to close and how to react. Prospects sometimes give signals that they are ready and willing to close before they actually say, let's do this. When they start giving the signal, salespeople want to avoid becoming aggressive. Instead, let prospects ask what they need to ask and respond with more detail. What they will do usually, look for signs like the prospects would do, like for example, they change their attitudes. They might start warming up with a more congenial tone. Then they will lean forward. Leaning, it shows a spike in interest. Then they change their tone of voice. If their voice goes up or down, it can mean they are getting excited or concerned. They will change their expressions. When their eyes light up, their minds often are too, as they recognize the positive possibilities. They will call you. Prospecting often entails a series of calls from the salesperson. When prospects move on to making calls, they are acting like customers. So let's go over to what they will say. So now we know what they will do, and now let's go over to what they will say. Prospects will also say things that signal they're just about ready to close. Listening to them to ask more questions about the product. Now they want to see how the solution fits into their current situation. Switch from if to when as they ask more of those questions. They want to start planning for what happens after the sale is complete. Mention a deadline that they need to meet. That means they're figuring how buying your product or service fits into that major upcoming event. Ask specific pricing questions. Once they understand the value, for example, did you offer financing? What's the best price you can give me? That I hear a lot. Are there any discounts available? I hear a lot too. So this signals that they are ready to buy from you. Ask specific delivery questions, such as, that's what the customer is saying. Okay, not you. It's what the customer will say to you. Asking specific delivery questions, such as how long it would take to implement after we sign, would it be possible to get a delivery by June 1st, let's say January 1st, what are the delivery options? And they will ask questions that would minimize their risk on their investment. For example, if I decide this isn't for us, what happens? Do you have a satisfaction guarantee policy? How long is the warranty? That type of questions also mean that they are ready to buy. They will make possessive statements indicating how they would use the product or service specifically. For instance, seems like this will fit in well with our current system. Or they will say a statement like, Joe would be the point person for this process and I can see him being interested. Or they will say, I think we'd get about 5 employees to try it first. Or they will say, it would come in handy when blank. Okay? They will also ask next step questions, such as, if I am interested, what happens next? Where do we go from here? Can you meet with my management team too? Remember, when customers signal they are near ready to close, avoid hard selling techniques. That can push them the opposite way. Alright? So now, the next thing we'll talk about is signs your prospects are bulking and how to react. Even the best qualified prospects balk sometimes. They might seem interested, but in reality, aren't as serious about closing as you are. It's important to understand why prospects balk and recognize when they are doing it, so you can either double down your efforts or walk away before wasting their time and yours.